Hi, it's Mr. George, and today we're going to talk about how to take notes. Note taking is a skill. There's a few different ways you can do this. I'm going to give you some ideas, and ultimately, you want to choose the method that works for you. The purpose is to take notes so that you'll use it as a study aid. If you're not going to use it as a study aid, then you're kind of really wasting your time. And one thing to clarify, you're not writing down every single thing that you are writing. Okay? So I'm just going to start by just giving an example here. I'm in a chapter within a history book on ancient Greece. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just scan through the pages, just kind of giving me an idea of what's in the chapter. I'm going to skip a couple here. Just give me an idea, and I'm going to go to the end of the chapter, and I'm going to look at the summary if it's provided. For this chapter, it actually gives us a visual summary. So it indicates that this chapter is on Greece, the legacy of Greece. It looks at the culture, how people live. It looks at artistic contributions, science and technology achievements, as well as the multiple forms of government. So this I want to just look at. So now this is giving me like a really basic understanding of all the different topics within the chapter that I haven't read yet, and I haven't written anything down yet. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the beginning, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write the date here. So today's August 23rd, 2015. Now, as far as where you put the date, it doesn't really matter to me. I would just be consistent. I'd also would put the class. So, for example, I'm going to put World History, and it's really important that you print neatly when you do this, as well as this is Chapter 5, and I'm just going to put Greece. So again, you can put it over here, you can put it over here, some type of heading. And you also want to put this on a loose leaf notebook paper so that if you had a quiz or a test and you could use this on the quiz or the test, you could actually take it right out. Now, this is just loose leaf notebook paper. A couple different ways. Maybe you've heard of split page notes or the Cornell note-taking method. What you could do is you could put the topics down the left-hand side and then have some notes to the right of this red line, or you could just draw a line with a ruler. You'd use a ruler so it's a straight line. You could put terms over here, vocab words over here. Really, you want to write down key bits of information so that when you're reviewing for a quiz, for a test, if you're doing some type of research paper, you can find the information that you're actually looking for. And you also want to give yourself some space. So you want to skip lines in between things just so it makes it easier for you to be able to read things. You want to make it readable for you. So don't fill up this entire piece of paper with words because it's probably going to give you a headache. And again, you want this to be a study tool. So next step is I'm just going to go through the chapter, and for example, the first section of this chapter talks about geography. So the geography shapes Greek life. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to write geography on this side. And now it has little subsections here. So for example, it has the sea, it has the land. And again, I'm not reading word for word here. I'm just kind of skimming through, and then it talks about the climate. And then it goes into another section. So as you're kind of going through the chapter, you're picking off the sections, and anything that's bold or underlined has some type of significance and tends to have a definition. So when you get to city-states, over here it has the word polis, so I'm just going to put polis here. You could write the definition right next to it. Fundamental political unit and I'm not going to write the whole thing here. Okay. Now you could also put the terms on the left-hand side here and put the definitions on the right, so when you're actually studying, you could fold the paper like this, and you could have the vocab words on one side and the definitions on another, which is the same exact thing as used as creating flashcards. Sometimes students will create flashcards with words or terms on one side, definitions on the other. So by doing this, you're actually writing it down, which again, when you're writing it down, it also creates like a deeper level of understanding than just reading it. And then you have built-in flashcards that you can use. So as you're doing this, what I recommend as you go from section by section within a chapter, again, you're writing bullets. You're not writing paragraphs. You're picking key words. You're looking at bold, underlined words. And then after you do that for the chapter, you go back through and you read the chapter one time. And what I would recommend that you do at the bottom of a page, you write a little summary here. For example, the geography shaped the city-states of ancient Greece in terms of social, economic, or political areas. But you should summarize your notes in your own words rather than just writing things from the textbook onto your piece of notebook paper. Okay? So good luck. Hopefully you're able to create a very strong study aid that you can use that will help you not just retain the information, but relate and connect the information to different themes within whatever class that you're actually taking.